Hello everybody, here is my granddad's Type H bell box that was on his house. I swapped this and replaced it for a modern bell box as much as I like the old alarms, and I know lots of you do, a Type H isn't going to provide the security now that a modern bell box will. So I took this down. Anyway, the internal system had been ripped out about 2 years ago, and it was just this left on the outside, so I finally got round to taking it down for him and swapping it. So obviously I took the old one, and it still works as they usually do. They're pretty indestructible, these old style bell boxes. Water gets in, some even rust, the plastic weathers, but they never break, ever. Well, I say that. If they do, it's usually a rusted circuit board. The strobe and siren or bell, whatever's in it, the parts usually last forever. And just as this one has. I mean, this bell box went up. I saw on the label, there's a label on the bell inside that says November 1986. So presumably if the bell was made that year, this will have gone up that year. My granddad worked for the council, and he wanted an alarm fitted because alarms were the latest thing. Everyone thought they were great. They were a new idea. And two people who fitted alarms at his local council came round and installed it for him. And obviously years have gone by and the system's got ripped out, and he's just got a nice bell box up now, a fake one, which is great for him because he doesn't want an alarm, which is understandable because when you get to a certain age it can be a load of faff. But he's got a lovely bell box up that no one can tell whether it's fake or real. But I'll give this a demonstration. I've wired it up so the bell and strobe will go at the same time, because this one has got a bell in, a nice good old-fashioned bell. And I'll give you a little demonstration of it, and I'll take the cover off and show you the insides. This is the bell box that I'm going to be connecting to the ADE XM6 when I do the panic button test. This is the bell I'm going to use, but I didn't want to just show it you then, I wanted to show it you beforehand, which is why I've done this now. So anyway, I'll be using a 9-volt battery because all my proper 12-volt alarm backup batteries are in the garage and I'm not going out to get one. So I'll give it a test. I'll leave it ringing for about 5 seconds as I usually do, and you can see it going. That's if I can get these wires lined up right. You heard it ting then. Heard it ting again. Can't alarm. I can't get it in right. There we go. It is really loud, as all the bells are usually. So that was it ringing. That's what it would have been like, as I always say, blazing away on the house in the 1980s. So if the alarm ever false triggered, which it probably did once or twice with the 80s PIRs, which always seemed to false trigger, that's what it would have looked like when you pulled up on your drive and your heart was beating because you thought you'd been burgled, and then you went in and everything was still there and it was a false alarm. Yeah, I'll take the cover off and show you what's going on inside. I'm not going to lie, there's not much. It is just the bell and the wiring. But it's always nice to have a look. So I'll just take the screw out. The screw had rusted, so I got it a new screw. And speaking of screws, what's really great to attach bells and sirens and strobes to these old style bell boxes, or what's good to attach it for a modern bell box if you want a custom fit one. These from Poundland. All they are is Poundland nuts and bolts, sorted machine screws. There's loads of different types in there. They're really great. They only cost £1 in the DIY section, and you can use them to screw a siren onto a back plate or whatever you want to do. So I'd recommend them. I'll just lift this cover off. And as you can see, I've wrapped the wires around the tamper switch because I've not used the tamper switch. That's not wired up. So it's just sitting there at the minute. But I've repainted the bell because it was going rusty, so I've resprayed that black and the back part silver. There's a shelf for a backup battery. Have I got a dead one in here to show you with? No, I've not. But yeah, and there's obviously 2, 3 and 4 mounting holes. And although it's got a funny colour because it's weathered and been painted over, the inside was originally yellow and it would have looked like this on the outside. All lovely and smooth, brand new plastic in there. Well, not brand new, but clean plastic. And obviously, as you can see there, the siren wires and the bell wires just go into this little terminal block. And at the other end are these 2 wires. And I'll ding the bell again. I'll just add them onto these 2 wires and you'll be able to see it ding. Obviously you won't see too much happening, but there we go. Lovely old bell that. Still working after being up for 30 years. Yeah, so that's it really. I mean, the wires for the bell go through this tiny hole in the back plate and they just are screwed on there with them Poundland machine screws that I was talking about, because the original nuts and bolts had rusted as to be expected, so I replaced them. And obviously the wire comes in there and then it goes in there to the bell. Obviously no one sees that because that part's on the wall. I will say though, and I've seen it happen myself, the only problem with these bells is they weigh so flipping much that sometimes it can bring the bell box off the wall. I mean, this bell box was installed, it only had 2 screws. There was a screw in there and a screw in there. Those 2 screw holes were left blank. Well, left blank, there were no screws in them. So it was only on by 2, and really for a big bell like that you want 4 good solid screws holding it up. And they weren't very big either, so I don't know how it didn't fall off, because I've seen it before. Bell boxes like this with a big bell in, because they do bells even heavier than that, and they're on the wall for so long, and then next thing you hear a massive smash and you look and the bell box has fallen off the wall. I've seen it happen loads. It happened on my friend's house once and I had to go and put a new bell up because the old one had came crashing down. But this one survived, so obviously then I just took the wires. Oh, did I say before? Yeah, I did, I think. That's a backup battery shelf. I just took the wires in there and place the cover over like so, and then making sure that lines up, get your screw and put it back in that screw hole. Like so. There we go, that's done now. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that ring in before it goes in with the ADE panel, because I'm going to show you this panic button working with the panel. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have the panel wired up on this little workbench here. I'll press the panic button in and it'll set the bell box off hopefully, or so the plan is anyway. So thank you for watching and I'll see you later. Bye for now.